And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
The wheel gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from? Here comes Zwack.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it at Auto Club.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in the liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and you're good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com.
The Steering Buddy 180 live at Nashville Superspeedway. Bluegrass Racing Cup Series live here tonight on V-Speed. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper. Here in the booth all alone here tonight, but we're going to get through it with the week 13 of the 21 race season here for Bluegrass Cup Series. And it's been a good showing so far. We're down here qualifying right now on the pole. We have Jonathan Atkins with a 29.780 going around the racetrack right now as GT Hawkins. As we get down track side to talk about a little bit of the different things that go on this racetrack. It's a 1.66 mile oval. Concrete surface. Very abrasive, wears the tires out very quickly. Some of these drivers will struggle with the high speeds and the slow speed that you have to come down to in this cup car. With the draft affecting the runs they're going to get down the back straightaway, should be pretty interesting. You're going to have pack racing at a 1.5 mile cookie cutter style racetrack. So it's going to be a variety of both worlds. As we have about 5 minutes left of qualifying, we're going to go down on the racetrack now. Get you Michael Robinson, who's putting down his lap right now. Just wrapping up his second lap. Jason Bridges is sitting on the end of pit road. Rafael Hubie is also finishing his lap at third position. We'll get that ticker up there on your screen for your current qualifiers. Atkins able to hold on so far. Michael Cole, Jason Bridges have not taken their laps yet. You can see right here on pit road is the 34. Drew Prail also on pit road in the 80. So a few cars electing not to qualify, but as you can see here, it's Atkins, Farmer, Hubie, your top three. Silvers in fourth, Morton fifth. Here's the car coming out. There's Prail now coming off of pit road. We'll take a lap around here with the number 80 machine. Down that access road, you got to be very careful, especially under green flag pitting. Very difficult and slippery down there. Flat. It's the only portion of the asphalt really on this track is that access road and pit road. The transition at this racetrack, very difficult to come into pits as well. If you can look here on the left side of your screen, pit road happens quick. And a lot of shifting going to go on here tonight. Probably down to fourth gear. The banking on the corners of this track don't support the high speeds that you'll reach down this straightaway. You can hear him winding it up to fifth gear here. And then downshifting to fourth to hit the bottom. Back on the throttle about now. And coming off for his qualifying lap. Dupreo is going to put it in the 16th position here with a 30.458. Just beats out Cody Anderson for 16th position. Still a couple of cars not out there on the track. About 3 minutes left. Some of these guys like to wait for the weather to change, get more favorable conditions. Jason Bridges is going to wait till the absolute last minute, I do believe. 3 minutes left of qualifying as he sits on pit road. There's a good look at Nashville Superspeedway. Has a familiar layout similar to Las Vegas or Kansas Speedway, with its very high speed tri-oval and long backstretch. This track can make for a lot of pack racing. If they're not careful though, going into these corners, there's a lot of braking involved and a lot of downshifting. These guys will get those runs to the inside. They're gonna have to keep an eye on their mirrors and pay close attention to their spotters, because there are two lines they can go into these corners. The high line will probably work itself in as the race progresses. Stage break at lap 55. We're going to run 134 laps here tonight. $180 miles. For race number 13 of the season. Let's put your points graphic up there on the screen for you right now. We talked a little bit about Rafael Hubie and GT Hawkins, the lap times that they're putting down, and it's no surprise. Jonathan Atkins also having a stellar season. Able to put it up there on the pole. But here's your points breakdown for your top 10. It goes all the way back to Daniel Cunningham with 81 points separating, and this will be the final race of the regular season before we start chase time. So, gonna get interesting when we reset the points here. We'll have those officially for you next week after tonight's broadcast. If you're just joining V-Speed and Bluegrass TV, hope everything's going smoothly on both ends. I'd like to welcome you into the broadcast. Jeff Foyt, I see you in chat. Welcome into the broadcast here on Bluegrass TV. And if you guys haven't, make sure you go check out V-Speed and subscribe to that channel as well, so you never miss a single race. We bring you hundreds of different leagues over the course of the year, and I'm excited to be here for Bluegrass Cup Series. You can also check out V-Speed 2. Eddie Smith is live right now. He went live just a moment ago. I believe that league is the Next Gen Series of Cruising Classics. But outside of that, qualifying's concluded. Let's get you trackside and get that grid up on your screen right now. So there they are. There's the qualifying times. Jonathan Atkins with a 29.780, with David Farmer going to start on the outside. Row number 2 will be Rafael Hubie and John Schwartz in the 4th position. Row number 3 is James Silvers with Barrett Morton in 6th. 7th spot will be Jonathan Cofield with Brandon Holder in 8th. 9th, Sean Kaiser and Michael Kostick rounding out your top 10. Alex Healy, Mike Robinson in row number 6. Jeff Foyt and Radburn Shutters in 14th. Daniel Cunningham and GT Hawkins in row number 8. Row number 9 will be Drew Prail and Cody Anderson. Rounding out your top 20 here for this beautifully decorated 20-car field, it's Jason Bridges and Michael Cole. So down here, gridding on the track. Atkins gonna roll him out. Sitting on the back of the pace car here. It's gonna be an interesting, and that's a very good looking paint scheme there on that number 57. $75,000 virtual fans here tonight. Hopefully we have an equal amount in the virtual broadcast. You're watching Bluegrass TV live with V-Speed for the Bluegrass Cup Series, getting ready to roll off here for 134 laps at Nashville Superspeedway. And everybody here has been super supportive, and I'm very excited. Would like to thank Eddie Smith for bringing this league to my attention and getting us rolling off here with a great start. Switching over to our race scene. It's going to be side by side as they roll out here. Using the access road here for Jonathan Atkins. And again, this is one of those parts of the track that you can make a mistake very easily. Get ahead of yourself trying to roll out a pit road and not lose any time. End up losing a ton of time if you clip the grass or get loose, slide up into the racetrack, get a penalty. Very easy to do here. But hopefully we can see some green flag pit stops. 20-car field shouldn't be a problem. And we're rolling in to 3 and 4. Pace car gonna pull off this time. And I hope you guys are ready to pull those belts tight and get ready for 134 laps live from Nashville Superspeedway. It's Bluegrass Cup Series racing into turn 1. And already some problems here. Daniel Cunningham looks like Jeff Voigt getting into some trouble there. Down the backstretch, Jonathan Atkins still has the lead. So able to maintain that lead. Starting on the pole. And it looks like no challengers thus far. David Farmer got up on the rear bumper up to 57 a couple times here. But hasn't been able to get the run to the inside. And that's going to be a tough pass. These tires start to wear off. You might see the 57 move up the track a little bit. That might have the opportunity if David can hold his tires and keep them cool. But these guys pulling away. John Schwartz makes a pass for the 3rd position. He's going to move around the 21. Rafael going to fall back now to the clutches of Barrett Morton for the 4th position. Not a whole lot of passing going on just yet. These guys still trying to get it sorted and get the car under them, but that is a completed pass there. Rafael is falling back. And it looks like Rafael is maybe a little bit out of the groove. He's running a higher line than the rest of this field. And that just keeps opening up the door as he falls back to 6th, maybe 7th position here in the next corner. Now able to go to the bottom of the track. But still electing to come in a little bit higher than the rest of this field, and that's allowed several cars to get around him pretty quickly. James Silver's the next one in line to get around the number 21, and now almost 3 wide as they go down the backstretch. They are 3 wide. It's Michael, I believe that was Michael Robinson and James Silvers. Actually, it's the 14 of Hawkins who gets around the 17, now working on the 21. So another completed pass here. The 21 falling almost out of the top 10 here as the race goes on. He might want to consider changing that line and running the bottom because now we have Michael Robinson looking inside. Car doesn't look very unstable. It looks pretty good. As they switch to fifth gear, let's come down into turn 1 and see how stable the 21 is running. Seems to be holding his line pretty well. Doesn't look out of control. It's just that higher line is a little bit slower right now. As it rubbers up, that might be the preferred line around this place. But for right now, it seems like the low line's where you want to be. And looking on the back of the 57 of Jonathan Atkins, he's led 6 laps out of this 7 now. Out of 8 started in this race. Looking pretty strong for our pole sitter. David Farmer still in second, third spot is John Schwartz, who started in the 4th position, so he's up 1 tonight. Trying to chase down those front 2. Barrett Morton having a little bit faster lap time that time by. He beat John Schwartz by 1/10 of a second, and he's actually 1/10 or 2 faster than your leader, so starting to pick up the heat here for the number 6. With our stage break at lap 55, that will put these guys in a situation where tires are so important. Limited sets here for this league. I believe they have 3 tonight, not including the set on the car when they start this race. So that too is a factor in the strategy and how you would play out how you're going to race at Nashville, the very abrasive Nashville. Tires are so important. You can see everyone kind of single files out, with the exception of Rafael Hubie, who's still running that high line. Now diving it down to the bottom. He has changed it up. Looks like he's able to hug that apron a little bit better. Might have not felt confident with the cold tires running that bottom line, but now looks like he's picking the speed back up with a 30.075 that time by. He's matching the leader times this time around. David Farmer falls back to the 7 of John Schwartz. That was for the 2nd position. So Schwartz now up 2 since the beginning of this race. Trying to chase down your leader, Jonathan Atkins, who's led every single lap so far at the beginning of this race. Looking in with some other drivers. Here's the 58 of Jonathan Cofield, a familiar name that I've talked about in some other leagues on V-Speed. Very familiar with this driver. He races in Saturday Night Racing League as well. Currently being shown in the 13th position. An accordion effect starting to happen. The top 10 starting to drive back up to each other. This Radburn Shutters starting to catch up to Rafael Hubie. And I apologize, it's Rafael, and I will get that right at some point this season. Back at James Silvers, looking back at Michael Robinson, very close for 7th spot right now. And the shifting these guys, going through the gears back and forth to 4th gear, you have to also do that perfectly. Very easy to upset the car if you do that too soon. The RPMs aren't ready for it. You can snap this car free, send it up to the outside wall. And you can see right there, it opens up a door for a driver to go to your inside. Here's the 45 of Michael Robinson. Now passing, doesn't get the momentum on the backstretch and falls back in line. Not able to complete the pass for 7th. More action up here in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions. G.T. Hawkins, who's running a faster time than the rest of the field right now. Now being held up by the 2 in front of him. If he can get around these 2, might have a chance to go catch the leader. And what a run here for GT as he comes off of 2. Peeks the nose to the inside. That's the 9 of Brandon Holder, and he's going to concede the position. Nicely done pass. Setting up that run for the 14. No contesting, though. 57 has kept it up front since the beginning of this race, right at green flag time. Still maintaining a 0.7 second gap. You can see the speed that Jonathan Atkins has off these corners as he lengthens it out to an 1/8 of a second lead that time by. John Schwartz just hasn't had anything for him yet. The rest of the field still trying to sort out where they're going to be from third place on back. It's pretty tight. Looks like you have the 9 of Brandon Holder starting to catch up to the 14 again. Kind of a reversal. Hawkins was able to get around him pretty easily with that run down the backstretch. Can he get the same run on the 84 for third? I like the little ET logo down there next to Hawkins' name. That's pretty neat. Haven't seen a lot of guys do that before on their custom paints. Boy, do we have some neat ones out here, especially like the 9 of Brandon Holder, the chrome, the matte black, the green accents. Beautiful looking car out there. We have a couple likeness models out there as well. Michael Robinson in that McDonald's Toyota, a Bubba Wallace machine. The number 6 on the outside of Barrett Morton getting passed for 7th right now. Side by side as they go into 3. Deercrest Digital that machine. Checking on further back, here is the 67 of Michael Cole. A little off pace here tonight, started in the 20th position. Has since kind of lost track of the field. He is 16 seconds back from the lead. Got a lot of work left to do. At the tail end of the pack, though, we have Daniel Cunningham, another name that I know very well. Right on board here with the number 85. He's making a pass on the inside of Jason Bridges. So he gets around. That's actually Drew Prail. Cunningham just passed. He's working on Jason Bridges now for the 16th spot. Looking back again. Second place, shuffle up. David Farmer taking it back. He had lost one position to John Schwartz. Able to get back around him, and now we're past the halfway point in this run. It's gonna be interesting to see if these guys can make it all the way to the stage break under green, or if they're gonna have to pit for fuel. Maybe elect to take those tires during that break, where they're guaranteed that everyone's going to pit at the same time. A lot of strategies left to be played and laid out. All it takes is one caution here tonight to throw all of those strategies out the window. You can do as much math as you want, but when you start factoring in decimal points and the fact that this track is not a perfect 1.5 miles, the fuel mileage, the tires, the limited sets, and we got John Schwartz getting very close to the turn 2 exit wall. Able to stay off of it, but loses 2 spots. Falls back to 5th. That car is starting to get a little bit tight. Looks like he had some issues there exiting turn 2 the last time by. Let's see if he's still having that struggle. He does allow the 17 of James Silvers to get to the inside, but a good run off the corner. Maybe not enough to hold off Silvers, but he will be side by side with him here through 3 and 4. He's going to back it down and allow Silvers to get by. And that's just a product of being tight. You can't really afford to have a guy on your inside. You don't know if he's going to get tight and move up into you, and you have a lot less real estate to exit these corners. Jonathan Atkins showing him how it's done in this clean air. He's led 24 laps here tonight. Beautifully painted 57. So through your top 5, it's Atkins, Farmer, Hawkins, Holder, and Silver. Schwartz, Morton, Shutters, Robinson, and Kostick, your top 10. Jonathan Cofield starting to make some moves. Down to the inside of the 45 now of Michael Robinson. Only car making some passes here outside the top 10. And looks like he's going to work his way into the top 10 now with this pass. Next one in line is Michael Kostick in front of him. Cofield on the move. Another pass here, back to back, lap after lap. He's working his way through this field, and looks like he's about even with their leaders last time by, a 30.7. The next 3 in front of him are about a 100th of a second or so slower than he is as they round through for lap number 28. It's been interesting thus far, and we shape up the strategies. 1.8 second lead for Atkins in this stage break. That will all go away. As David Farmer, GT Hawkins, any of these guys have anything for this 57 car, it's been so easy here for him to maintain tires with this gap. He hasn't had the traffic to deal with. He might have to deal with some lap cars here momentarily. Some of the cars that have pulled it down pit road possibly for green flag pit stops. We've got Barrett Morton and John Schwartz. They're going to go a lap down. The 7 was looking tight earlier. He definitely wanted to take 4 tires, so he does so. 14.3 in the box, 41.3 on pit road. So a little bit slower than we had. Looks like Silver's on pit road as well. A couple other drivers electing to pit. Down and away here, 4 tires for James Silvers. Radburn Shutters on pit road. Looks like Michael Kostick, Brandon Holder also gonna hit their box. And another taker down pit road now as well. So looking at pit road entry, we still have about 7, 8, 9 cars that haven't hit pit road just yet. Holder down and away. Also Radburn out. Still out there on the track is Jonathan Atkins. We talked about it during qualifying, how hard it is to get on pit road here. These guys have been mistake-free so far. But it is very, very difficult. Here is Hawkins hitting pit road. A little smoke where he locks it up. We want to ride on board with somebody that's going to hit pit road here soon. I think we're going to be on board here with Jonathan Atkins when we do have that. Out there all by himself. Jonathan Cofield, the next one in line, up to 2nd position as this all cycles out. These guys probably trying to stretch this out as far as they can to maybe make a fuel-only stop. Then when we get our stage break, that would make sense. They can take their 4 tires and not lose any ground to the leader. So definitely 4 tire stops for Hawkins, Shutters, Holder, Schwartz also. These guys group back up. This is for the 13th position, just behind them. A pass going on by Brandon Holder to the inside of Alex Healy. Michael Cole in the 10th spot has not hit pit road yet. That was the driver we talked about that was struggling earlier in this race. He's up to 10th now, but remember, hasn't hit that pit road cycle just yet. Jeff Foyt in the 90. Started in 13th, up to 9th right now. And it looks like Atkins is coming down pit road now. Not able to ride on board with him, just missed it. That would put Sean Kaiser, I apologize, in the lead. And we might see the number 24 come down pit road this time. is on board with Sean Kaiser. And yes, here is the entrance to pit road. We were able to get it. Very difficult. That transition from about 12 degrees of banking all the way down to a completely flat asphalt surface. While on the brakes, it's a hard transition. These guys have done it flawlessly so far. And that will put the 21, Rafael Hubi, up into the lead. He will be the last of 4 cars to not hit pit road yet. Kaiser also coming out of his box, a car behind him. That's the 90 of Jeff Foyt. Hubi's coming down now as well. Michael Cole going to stay out. Maybe one more lap if he can stretch it. Might get a lap led here for the 67. Starting to battle a very loose condition here for the 67. Not like what we saw here from the 7 of John Schwartz, who got really tight, came down pit road pretty early. But after this all cycles out, provided that the 57 didn't make any mistakes, it doesn't appear that he did on pit road, he will resume the lead on lap number 38. So 37 laps into the books, starting on lap number 38, and there's Jonathan Atkins taking back over the lead. You're watching Steering Buddy 180 live from the Nashville Super Speedway, presented here on Bluegrass TV. The Bluegrass Cup Series live on V-Speed. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll bring your stage break right after this.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in the liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com.
Change for the lead while we were on commercial break. We'll take you back and look at that on the instant replay. There's the number 6. Barrett Morton gets around Jonathan Atkins on the outside while we were at the commercial, and on lap 41, we have our first change for the lead and a challenger to what Jonathan Atkins has been doing all race long. And the 57 of Atkins is actually falling back a little bit, now to the clutches of John Schwartz for the second spot. These guys really turning up the heat here. Remember, the 7 was battling in that tight condition. Looks like he's figured something out. The conditions of this racetrack have changed since those green flag laps started about 40 minutes ago. So falling all the way back to the 5th position, and the next guy in line to get around the 57, who seems to be having maybe a little condition. Atkins did take 2 tires, I believe, on pit road, so we have to factor that in. Maybe a fuel-only stop. It was only 8.4 seconds in the box, and some of these drivers like Barrett Morton, who had 9.3, John Schwartz, who definitely took 4 tires. And for this stage break, these guys might not come down pit road, or they might come in and just top off fuel. they're going to be in an entirely different situation. Jonathan Atkins might come down and get those tires replaced, or maybe take 2 to set it off. But right now, under fire from the 14 of Hawkins. Like I said, tires playing a factor. The strategies that everybody's going to play. Laps led here for the number 6. He has pulled 1.7 seconds over John Schwartz with 5 laps led here tonight. Looking back outside the top 10, it's Sean Kaiser just behind Radburn Shutters. David Farmer, who is up there as well, he looks like he elected to take a fuel-only stop. He's in the 9th position now. So falling back 7 positions from where he began. Don't get me wrong, this is still a situation where once this stage break hits, you're going to see more of what we saw at the beginning of this race. I believe the 57 is going to find his way back up there at the top spot. 11 positions gained here for the number 14. Biggest mover of the race so far. Most positions lost since the beginning of this was the 21, and he started to really lose those positions at the green flag. So pit stops maybe also affecting that. Looks like he came down for maybe right side tires, but the 21 back in 16th spot. Drew Prail also having a little bit of struggles here tonight. Didn't qualify where he would hoped and has maintained that 17th position, but has lost the field by 21.9 seconds. Cannot wait for this stage break to maybe help him make some adjustments, get back up there, as he is at a threat of going a lap down with Barrett Morton before the stage break. Coming on for lap number 49. You can see the number 90 of Jeff Foyt trying to get his lap back. He's got a little bit of front end damage, it looks like, on that Camaro. Not sure. It looks like maybe he met the back bumper of someone else. Hasn't affected the speed too much. He's in the slipstream of the number 6. Looks like he's able to keep up with him pretty well. Speaking of keeping up with him, it looks like he might get his lap back here. To the inside, into turn 1, it looks like he will get it. A little bit early on the brakes there for the 90, and the 6 is going to hold on for a moment longer. The 90 is going to have to make quick work of this, because if he did elect to take tires, which it appears he did, he's going to burn him up running down there on the inside. There he goes with the little slide job in the entrance of 3 and 4, and he does get it back the old-fashioned way. However, running side by side, that allows the 17. James Silvers takes over the 2nd position, and he's starting to catch up to the number 6. 1.2 seconds as he chases him down. 5 laps to go for the stage break. And these stage breaks awarding points to these drivers. Everybody's scrambling for position. That's part of the strategy as well. When you take your tires early to try to battle out and get some positions gained before that stage caution. Earn a few extra bonus points for position. So many different stories and strategies going on this racetrack, all at the same time. 1.1 seconds now coming out of turns 3 and 4. You can see the gap starting to shrink, but side by side back here with Hawkins. Silvers might lose this position. He does, and Hawkins now going to try to chase him down. Another stage point here for the 14. If he can hold on to it for just 2 more laps. Here comes Barrett Morton. Going to take the white flag here, I do believe, for the stage break. He has a lap car that passed him earlier, so really no traffic in front of him. The number 6 going to come off of turn 2. Looking pretty steady. Officially, unofficially, I don't know if they do it right at 55. This is my first broadcast here with this league, but we're going to find out as he crosses the line. This might be the white flag here for that stage break. So coming across the line now for stage number 1, Barrett Morton is going to get the first one with GT Hawkins, James Silvers, John Schwartz, and Michael Kostick, your top 5. The winner of stage number 1. It's 16 laps led there. The pace car comes out. Now the strategies come into play. Who took tires during that first pit stop? Who has an extra set? Who's going to take them during the stage break? Who's only topping off with fuel? We're about to find out here. Takers down pit road, pretty much the entirety of this field. They're all going to pit together. A couple cars elect to stay out to get their laps back. That was Michael Cole in the 67 that stayed out. He's going to get the wave around. But here we go with the number 6 of Barrett leading him into the pit stall. What is his strategy here? Does the jack go up on this machine? It does. So right side's definitely going on. The number 6 looks like 4-tire pit stops pretty much for the entirety of this field. And rolling down and away, looks like the 17 of Silvers might win the race off pit road. It's going to be close. That was the 34 of Jason Bridges who wins that battle off pit road. Let's go back and take a look at that. Just barely at the line. Able to win that battle. So the 34 takes over the lead after that first stage break. We still have over 100 miles left to burn here. 34 actually gets a speeding penalty. So that changes everything here for the number 34 team. So back down pit road for Jason Bridges. You're watching the Steering Buddy 180 live from Nashville Superspeedway on Bluegrass TV and live simultaneously on V-Speed. We're going to take another quick commercial break for this stage, and we'll bring you uninterrupted flag-to-flag coverage right after this.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in a liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and you're good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com.
And here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Dweck.
A push from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic
Second stage about to be underway. Steering Buddy 180 live from Nashville Superspeedway. Barrett Morton taking those 4 tires on the strategy. Gonna lead him into turn number 1. On the loud pedal now. And here we go, back racing live on Bluegrass. Side by side here with Hawkins and Silvers. That was a pass that happened earlier before the stage break, and Silvers loses the spot again. Radburn getting up to the 4th spot. A lot of side by side on that initial start, but the guy that lost the most positions during all of that was Jonathan Atkins. He came down pit road, got his 4 tires, but unfortunately he was already back in the 6th, 7th position. Does gain 1 back on pit road. And 1 more here on the racetrack. He's got the 8 of Michael Kostick trying to fend off a very hungry David Farmer. Farmer knows last time at the beginning of this race that 57 drove away from him. So he's going to use this traffic to his advantage and try to keep pace. Hopefully the tires can stay on this 84 and he'll have something for that 57. Barrett Morton, though, has led another lap, 22 to be exact, in this race. You can look at our race recap up on the top of your screen. We've only had 1 caution for that stage break, but we've had 4 lead changes. And we might have another one here very soon. Side by side across the line. Hawkins doesn't quite edge him out, but Morton falls back now. So 1 more lap led for the 6. Now the 14's going to take it over. Side by side with the 4th position. The 44 of Shutters going to lose that spot to Atkins. Atkins just picking up the pace now. He has those 4 tires under him. Saved that extra set. 57 might have stopped at Waynesville. Silvers in front of him, trying to fend him off. That's pretty smart to have a tire company sponsor you when they're so important in a place like this. 17's going to lose that spot, fall back to 4th, and here comes Jonathan Atkins. He's going to challenge the 6 car who took over the lead on lap 33. And the 57 get around. For every pass this 57 car makes, that's another lap that he has to burn the tires off, and when he had that clean air at the beginning of this race was a totally different drive. The situation changes with strategy. Here's a pass for 2nd. Doesn't have the momentum off of 4. He's going to fall back in line. Morton's going to hang on for another lap. Now charging back towards Hawkins is the 6 car. Oh, gets a little loose here. They both get a little loose in a checkup. Barrett gets contact. Hawkins gets into the back of him, and that bunches everyone up 3 wide into 3. Let's go back on our instant replay and see exactly what happens here. There's the contact with the 6 and the 57. Look at the bunch up here on this field. Go back one more time. Look at the rear bumper. There's the contact, and I believe a checkup in front of him. We look one more time. The 14 does get a little loose as well. But a great save there. And they're side by side again for the 3rd spot. Farmer now making a pass on the 57 of Atkins, who has a little bit of right front damage after that bump with Barrett Morton. Getting trapped up on that outside. We saw it with the 21. Rafael lost a ton of positions getting trapped up there, but this 57 car has been quick, and he's holding his own up there against David Farmer. Not able to complete this pass. They hug each other off of turn 4, still door to door across the line. Now Silver's going to join this battle. He peeks in the middle. No lane there yet. He's going to try to follow this 57. Now he's going to take it a little bit higher. Getting on board here with Silvers. The pass has not happened yet. And peeking 3 wide maybe here into 3. Looks down to the bottom, not there, but they do leave the lane open for him. That allows the 84 to get a better run off of 4. Still side by side for this third position. Hawkins loving what he sees in his mirror, really. He was able to get around Barrett Morton, and Morton hasn't had anything for him. I think the 57 is going to be his biggest challenger, but he's tied up now with the 84, and this has been going on for 4 laps. Silvers has nowhere to go. Jonathan Cofield now in the hunt. Cofield probably going to get side by side with Silvers here soon. They finally settle it out. Atkins wasting no time to take advantage now that he's not side by side with Farmer. He's going to go to the inside of the number 6. He tried to pass a moment ago with the contact. He gets by. Now Farmer following suit. Almost some contact there between the 84 and the 6. But now the challenge for the lead. Hawkins. Oh, and loose condition here for Farmer off of 4. Almost tags the outside wall, but he's able to maintain the speed. Side by side in front of Farmer for the lead now. Hawkins had led 9 laps before he concedes it on lap number 72. And it's Jonathan Atkins back to the front, back in that clean air, trying to pull away from this field. Next one in line to get around the number 14 would be the 84, and he's been chasing the 57 since the green flag. Make quick work of that. We work on through back to the field. It's the 58 of Jonathan Cofield all over the back bumper of James Silvers. Rafael Huby did it again. It's Rafael, but he is having a better run now, able to figure out that bottom lane and maintain a top 10. He fell back from 3rd here tonight, so it's going to be interesting to see if that 21 can get back up there in the top 3. On Kaiser, another driver that's had a pretty solid night tonight. Look at the top 10. Hasn't gained or lost any positions since the beginning of this race. Biggest mover so far is actually the 14 of GT Hawkins, who started back in the 16th position, but you see right now, David Farmer is all over that back bumper. You can hear the clutch pedal being used here by the 14, so maybe some fuel strategy coming into play. As one of the recent updates in iRacing, they added an automatic fuel button. That does kind of change things. If you forget to turn it off, iRacing will put the exact amount of fuel that it thinks you need to make it to the next stint. Sometimes if you still have fuel in the tank, it doesn't add enough and you become a couple laps short. That might be what you hear here with the 14 of Hawkins using the clutch pedal into the corner. Looks like he's going to lose the 2nd position. A little too late here for Farmer to stick with Atkins. Now he's going to have to chase him down. This is for 2nd spot. Also peeking to the inside is the number 6, and there goes Cofield around Silvers for 5th. And a crossover from Silvers back on the outside of Cofield. Still side by side as they go into 1. See how close these drivers get as they go into 3 and 4. If you're not able to complete that pass, He got around him for 5th, and then the immediate crossover on the exit of 4 put Silvers back on the outside. And another one of those side-by-side battles that's going to last for a while. So difficult to pass here at Nashville. There's Sean Kaiser trying to get around off of L for the 7th position. He puts the nose in there, and the entrance of 3 backs out of it. Going to get a good run here off of 4. Still not a completed pass in front of them there for the 5th spot. Cofield still struggling to get around the 17. That's got to be burning off the right front tire. Trying to hold it down there on the bottom, especially getting pinched down on the entrance. This has allowed Silvers to probably save some tire and maintain speed with the 58. Side by side, just behind him here. Kaiser gets around the 21, and Alex Healy now into the picture. Cofield finally concedes, not able to clear the 17, but that also means that they're going to start catching these guys in front of them. You can see the 14 of Hawkins, who's fallen a little bit off pace. He's back to 3rd now. He has the 6 of Morton and the 17 of Silvers coming into the picture. And that clutch pedal has not been his friend. He can save as much as he can. It is possible to save 3 or 4 laps on fuel if you clutch from the beginning of the run, and that's probably what the 14's trying to do. Stretch it out as far as he can. They might have done the math here and saw that, you know, we're just going to be shy of halfway on this stage break. Or on the 2nd stage, rather, to make it in one stop. So we have some crew chiefs up there in the booth. Very close here in the 3 and 4. The 6 gets to the inside. This is for 3rd. This might start the freight train for Hawkins to fall back. We're going to find out here as he holds his own into the entrance of 1. He does concede the position. Smart move there to drop down inside and try to fend off. Oh, he gets more contact on that clutch pedal. The 17 not expecting it. He runs into the back of him, and that allows Cofield to get around him. He's going to go down to the inside, so Cofield picks up 2 positions. And 3 wide just behind him. 21 on the outside, the 24 on the inside. They're still 3 wide as they come off of 4. The 17, who had to check up there, now finds himself in the sucker hole. And he's going to lose 2 more positions, so unfortunate there for James Silvers getting into the back of GT Hawkins. That set up just a domino effect for positions lost. He's got racing in front of him. He was up there battling for the top 5, finds himself trying to stay in the top 10, all within a lap. And these races staying green, anything like that happening can be detrimental to your race. We got some racing going on side by side back here between the 45 of Michael Robinson. 3 wide here with the 42, 44, and 45. That sorts itself out rather quickly. The 42 of Cody Anderson moves up to the 8th position. Started back in 18th, so 10 spots gained. Second biggest mover of the race for Cody Anderson. He's just behind Brandon Holder for the 7th spot as he goes to the inside. And Barrett Morton takes over the lead, and I believe the 57 of Jonathan Atkins has hit pit road. So a few drivers, David Farmer, Jeff Foyt, also on pit road. These guys came down just a lap ago. I missed that on my timing and scoring, so I apologize for missing pit stops, but that will start the cycle. Interesting to see because it looks like 31 laps. They're going to be a little bit short if the 14 has been able to save enough fuel to make this all in one stop. He's been saving since we took the green flag back on lap 59. Back to his bumper is James Silvers in 6th position. Go on a fresh set of tires here for the 57. He's led 49 of the 90 laps complete here. Is he going to get back up there? Or does someone else have a strategy that's going to win this race? It's stayed green. Outside of our stage break, these guys have done a phenomenal job here at Nashville tonight. Even with the 3 wide battles, they've done an outstanding job. On board here with Barrett Morton. Anybody out there in chat, if you have a favorite driver, throw their name up in chat. We'll try to give them some TV time. I'm trying to cycle through this field as best I can. Looks like we got some passing going on. This is to get, not for position, but so much of the time made up here for Jonathan Atkins to get back to the lead if it all cycles through. And really the 17th back to Alex Healy in 19th. These guys all in the same stint for tires. Nobody else has followed suit. Usually predict that drivers will come down pit road within a couple laps, so the leaders coming in, that hasn't been the case. These guys are stretching their fuel run. And that's played out into the hands of guys like Barrett Morton, Jonathan Cofield, the guys that were probably saving since lap 1. Hear the clutch pedal here on the 58, so a lot of these guys doing the exact same thing. They're going to try to stretch this run out as far as they can. 36 laps on this stint. They're almost at the point where they can make it the rest of the way in one stop. Mathematically, they're just a lap shy as they come across for 37 laps on this stint. It's going to be close. To the 3rd position here for Sean Kaiser. The drivers that has been quiet pretty much all race, been maintaining a top 10, now finds himself in the top 3. Doesn't sound like he's saving too much fuel, and here comes the number 6 of Barrett Morton down pit road. .38 laps on the stint here. It's going to be very, very close. They're going to have to do the same thing they did at the beginning of this run. They're going to have to save with that clutch pedal. Jonathan Cofield stays out a lap longer. He might be on the bubble. I think he's going to be able to make it. He does come down pit road now. A perfect entry. Kaiser, Newby following suit down the pits. And looks like we might have another taker on pit road. Just behind them, that's Michael Robinson coming out of his stall. GT Hawkins, who was really saving on that, looking like a genius right now. He might be able to afford to drive it wide open if he can stay out another lap. Takes over the lead. Lap 95. Another lap led there, 11 on the board. He lets the 84 of Dave Farmer go by. And now the situation is, does the 14 come down pit road? Because Farmer and those guys, they're going to have to save even more fuel. They pitted 2-3 laps sooner than the guys that were saving fuel. It just mathematically doesn't add up for these guys to be able to make it in only one stop. I believe they're going to have to make a second one, and that's unfortunate for guys that were up towards the front for the vast majority of this race. Hawkins looking like a genius. Schwartz out there as well. still out on the same stint. 39 laps on this stint for him, 41 laps total for the rest of the field, and I don't know. Hawkins is probably bringing it down this time. He's on the clutch pedal. He might be out of fuel. Has to be perfect if he is low on fuel. So we pull it into that stall. Nicely done into the box. Right sides go up on the 14. Left side's going to go up now. And there goes John Schwartz down pit road. So Jonathan Atkins going to resume the lead now after all these pit stops cycle around. But does he have enough fuel to make it to the very end of this race? It's not looking that way. You can hear him lifting off of the throttle. And no clutch pedal into the corners. That's spelling trouble here for the 57 team. I know the third of a mile kind of throws guys off here with the factor and, you know, asking guys to do any kind of math while they're driving these cars. It's a difficult task if you don't have somebody up there spotting and crew chiefing for you. It can make your race even more difficult. Some of these guys have that advantage. Might have talked it over after the stage break of how far they could go on fuel, what to do. And strategy-wise, this might be one of those decisions that Jonathan Atkins, David Farmer might regret, because they're still out there driving it wide open, no clutch for the 57. It's going to be interesting to see. You can hear the number 6. He was the first of those cars that were saving to bring it down pit road. He's going to be very close. He's still clutching it. Might be okay. We're going to find out. Here's the 14 of Hawkins. Has the freshest tires on the racetrack right now, outside of John Schwartz. Five-lap difference to James Silvers, who's just behind him in the 11th position. So that evening sun starting to set. And I'm no expert on this racetrack, but I do know NASHVILLE Superspeedway under the lights. This concrete surface cools off and it gets really, really greasy. So we're going to have to see if that's going to start to affect the handling of these machines as we wrap up lap number 104. Jonathan Atkins, your leader. He's led the most laps today with 53. David Farmer in second position. Barrett Morton, Jonathan Cofield, and Rafael Huby, your top 5. Alex Healy, great race for him. He's up 5 spots from where he began this race, and the strategy has played into his favor. Currently in 6, Michael Robinson in the 45. He's kind of had a back and forth day, found himself outside the top 10 a couple different times, but has worked his way back to the 6th position. Car coming down pit road. That's the 84 David Farmer. So there it is. That pretty much confirms what I thought with the fuel. The 84 knows he's not going to make it. He comes back down pit road, and it looks like he's taken 4 tires as well. That puts Jonathan Atkins on spot here. And he's going to bring it down pit road. So the strategy's playing into the 14's favor. He's able to drive it wide open. If any of these guys are short, Barrett Morton is going to take over the lead. And he might have just enough to make it to the end of this race barring that he clutches it maybe a little bit. He's driving it wide open, so maybe he's good to go. Hawkins still has quite a few drivers that get back around. You can see the 3 cars in front of him, and it's a pretty sizable gap to your leader, Barrett Morton, of over 10 seconds. But he is starting to shave that time down. This time by, it's 10.6. Next time around, we'll see what it is. As he goes into 1 and 2, it's falling down a little bit. See there on the left side of your screen, 14 has an excellent drive off of turn 4. That time by actually loses a 10th. Seems to give some and take some. Run down the front straightaway. Three-way battle here in front of them. We've got Hubie and Cofield. 57 of Atkins goes back out on the racetrack. I want to say Cofield and Hubie are also kind of on that same stint as Hawkins. They got about 4 more laps on their fuel, but they might be okay. Let's ride on board here with Cofield. So the clutch pedal being pushed here for the 58 team. That tells me that Barrett Morton does not have enough to make it. He's just going to try to run out that gap as long as he can. As it shapes up right now, we have 2 drivers in 2nd and 3rd position using the clutch pedal to try to maintain fuel. You have GT Hawkins, who is about 5 seconds back from this group, as he gets around Kaiser and Robinson for the 4th spot. Barrett Morton probably going to have to hit pit road. Jonathan Cofield and Rafael Hubie are probably going to be out on the track until they run out. They've made their bed. They have to lay in it. They're clutching and trying to save as much as they can. And the remaining 21 laps up on the board there, you can see it's going to be a challenge, because I want to say it was about 39, 40 laps was the max that these guys could go, and they're already at 17. They're really going to have to stretch it out. The guy that doesn't have to stretch it out, pretty much guaranteed to make it to the end, is the 14 of GT Hawkins. I would have to say, if it plays out and the 58 and 21 do run out of fuel, this is going to be your race winner. The strategies that came into play, as we talked about in the pre-race, they definitely did not disappoint. We still really have no idea who's on the bubble, who can make it to the end. But the prediction with Jonathan Atkins and David Farmer was pretty accurate. Those guys pitted a little bit too soon, didn't save the fuel, and they had an extra stop compared to the guy that played this strategy to a T. We're just going to have to see if it pays off. No cautions, barring that happens. All these strategies go completely out the window. It's going to be 41 laps led here for Barrett Morton. He's approaching most laps led. If he can stay out for another, I believe, 12 laps, he'll have that in the bag. Jonathan Atkins currently leading the most laps. So it's rather close. It's actually 8 laps that Morton has to stay out. You can see how spread out this field is. From Jonathan Cofield back to Barrett Morton, it's 5.6 seconds. It is shrinking down a little bit each lap, and I guarantee you that the 6 is going to have to come back down pit road. He hasn't been saving fuel. It appears that he still isn't. So that's going to be one of those situations that you go back to the drawing board, you look at the mathematics, you practice a little bit, and try to prevent that from happening next week. This is the final race before the chase, when we lock in our top drivers, and everybody's putting it all out there, gambling with what they got. Put your points graphic back up there on the screen so you kind of have an idea of where we sit right now. Ubi, who's kind of struggled here tonight, leading the points by 19 over GT Hawkins, who might pull out the genius strategy and get his third win of the season. And it's John Schwartz, who struggled here tonight with a very tight race car. David Farmer, who had to double pit. He's going to probably fall out of this top 10 for the finish tonight. And it's Michael Kostick, Brandon Holder, James Silvers, Advern Shutters, Jonathan Cofield, and Daniel Cunningham in that top 10 in your points graphic. We got about 25 laps to go. That's going to put this stint at 50 laps roughly for some of these drivers. 45 for Hawkins. It's going to be close. Hawkins running it wide open now. You might be able to afford to clutch it a little bit more in case a caution comes out. I don't know that you would want to stay out, but you might have the opportunity to come down and pop off with fuel and get right side tires, still win the battle off pit road. Eric Morton now, 5.9 seconds. At a Cofield, stretching that out a little bit each lap. Able to maintain that gap and lead another lap. We're 48 now. Here we sit. 25 laps to go. You're watching the Steering Buddy 180 from Nashville Superspeedway, live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Never miss a single race live on V-Speed, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. We try to sort out what's going on this racetrack. If any of you guys haven't figured out, I hope that you got the crystal ball, because some of these guys are really playing the strategy card here tonight. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back live right after this.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in the liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com.
Here live at the Steering Buddy 180 at Nashville Superspeedway. We've completed 125 laps, 126 now as they cross the line, and Barrett Morton has led 52 of those laps, fast approaching most laps led. Tire strategies, fuel strategies. They can all go out the window with one caution. Put the ticker up there on your screen. I'm interested to see if Barrett Morton can make it to the end of this race. I'm factoring in that he can't because it's now 32 laps on this stint, and the max that we saw was about 43, 44 laps. And that was with the 14 of GT Hawkins, who's currently in the 3rd position. Jonathan Cofield in 2nd. We had Rafael Hubi that lost a position here to the 14 during that commercial break. These guys are running it wide open, so they either know that they're not going to make it or they know that they are going to make it. And they're just trying to chase down that leader. Barrett Morton has a 7-second lead in the closing stages of this race, and I'm still interested to see. It's going to be really, really close. Jonathan Cofield will probably be the guy that's right on the bubble and questionable with GT Hawkins, but I'm going to guarantee the 6 car probably isn't going to make it on fuel. Too many laps left to go. We're talking about 15. That's apologize, I'm talking about 5 laps to go, and that's still going to be a tall order here. He's been running it wide open, hasn't saved really any fuel. And he's pulling away from Cofield. "34 laps on this stint, 35 now as they cross the line. 5 more will put him at 40. That's going to be really, really close. We're going to find out. Cofield with 1 lap led here tonight, sitting in the catbird seat with 2nd position. If that 6 car runs out of fuel, he might be able to coast all the way around this place. 7 points. Oh, it kind of fluctuates so rapidly, and I believe he might have ran out. He does. He comes down pit road. That lead dropped very quickly, and that's going to bring the leader to Jonathan Cofield as he takes over with 4 to go. Still on the clutch pedal here for the 58. Hawkins 1.5 seconds back. The sweat rolling off the brow of the 58 team. They know they have to do this perfectly. They cannot afford a caution to come out. Back here to Hawkins. Back here lurking in the 2nd spot. 3 laps to go. Cofield down to the bottom, letting these guys by. Hard on the clutch pedal. Hawkins makes up another 0.3 of a second here, coming out of 4. Crossing the line for 2 to go. Cofield has the gap. Does he have enough fuel? Again on the clutch pedal. There's a speeding penalty for the 34, Jason Bridges. He is being scored 1 lap down in the 15th position. Cofield actually makes a pass on the 80 of Drew Crail. And here comes the white flag. One more time around for Jonathan Cofield. Does he have enough fuel? He was still on the clutch pedal a moment ago. Hawkins is 0.5 of a second back. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough. And Hawkins is going to fall short. Cofield just has to come off of 1 more corner. Checkered flag is in the air. And it's going to be the number 58 winning here tonight at Nashville. The fuel strategy that it took, the math. And Cofield played it to a T. Barely having enough to make it to the line. GT Hawkins going to come home in 2nd position. John Schwartz making the best of that tight vehicle, coming home 3rd. But how about Jonathan Cofield and all the strategy from all these drivers? You had a dominated race by the number 57 team here tonight, Jonathan Atkins, and it didn't matter because fuel strategy played into the hands of these guys that paid attention to how many laps they could stretch this fuel run. And for the final race of the regular season, Jonathan Cofield is going to muster up just enough fuel and burn it down here on the front stretch. We're completely run out of fuel. That sounds about right. It is shut down entirely. So just enough to make it back around. Congratulations to the number 58 team. Post-race interviews with your top three. You're watching the Steering Buddy 180 at Nashville Superspeedway live on V-Speed and Bluegrass TV. We'll be back right after this.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in the liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and you're good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com. If you're a professional.
Back here live, the Steering Buddy 180. Winner Jonathan Cofield. We got post-race interviews here with your top three. Let's take you back here a few minutes and show you exactly how this all worked out. We had Jonathan Cofield running low on fuel. We had our first stage break that was won by the number 6 of Barrett Morton. And then as we move through this stage, it's number 58 able to get it done, but we're caught up down on pit road here. We have the number 7 of John Schwartz down on pit road with that third place finish. In the strategy, you had a dominated race by Jonathan Atkins and you had David Farmer up there, but the strategy you guys played just worked out so perfectly. It didn't matter that those guys led all those laps because you had the game-winning plan and put it up there in third place. How does it feel, man, to have to do all that math after tonight?
Oh man, it was complex for sure. I mean, we were doing this whole race backwards, the whole team, and even my first stop, I wasn't sure whether we were going to take tires or not because I knew how much risk it was. If that second stage went green flag, it would definitely be worth to just take those tires every stage and every pit stop. But that first time, I was debating just not taking any tires and risking it, hoping if you get a caution, you'd at least have another set. So, I mean, yeah, being really aggressive from the start, just taking tires every stop, and then that second stage green all the way. I saw that right behind me. Who was it? It was Brandon came into the pits, and I decided to go with him. That way I could just try to stretch that first run a bit longer, which I think helped. We were able to get 39 laps on that first run, allowed us to push a lot more in that second. And man, we were really just trying to hang with GT that run. At the end, he started to burn off his tires, even though they're only like a lap or two older. And I saw the leader up ahead and I was like, should I battle GT? Should I try to work with him and catch them? And just laps were running down. I didn't think we had the time, so I tried to fight for second. Just couldn't get it. But yeah, that was really fun racing with GT. Really aggressive, and also a bit of lap traffic challenges at the end. So I feel like this race had a little bit of everything. So yeah, really proud of third place.
Yeah, this race had the variety of the strategies, the limited tire sets, the math that you had to do. Now, I don't know if you have the advantage of having a crew chief up in the box, but you do have some teammates surrounding you. Was that even a factor pre-race? Did you guys discuss any of that as being a possibility here tonight?
It was definitely like on our radar about how I should plan that. But once again, it seemed like the first run, it was almost going to be more about tires when to pit, and the second run, it was going to be about fuel. And there was even different topics about how people were trying to save. Some people were clutching, some people were upshifting early. I even just tried running in fifth gear the whole race, or in the first run, that is, just to try to save fuel. And so it seems like there wasn't exactly one strategy that was working in terms of saving fuel, but that was definitely the game plan. And so, yeah, I definitely think it did help having all the teammates in there just talking about their different approaches. And yeah, really happy to have it work out.
Third place finisher John Schwartz in the final race of the regular season here at Nashville. Congratulations, John. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for tonight's performance?
Yeah, first of all, I got to give a shout out to Alex Penn. He was really helpful up in the booth, as well as you for broadcasting the race. Really appreciate it. Got to give a shout out to the sponsors on the car, Cornerstone, the Awesome Shop, iRacing and Fanatec, as well as Hype Free, another Liga Run-In, as well as Aerokinetics. So those guys are really awesome, and hope to get some good results in some upcoming races with them. But yeah, also congrats to Jonathan Cofield for that win. Great fuel saving for him.
I agree, and I hope to see you next week. We'll be taking on the schedule. I'll get that officially up on the board for everybody in the broadcast. I'm kind of lagging. I'm kind of slacking here. I'm new, but John, congratulations on third place, and we look forward to maybe talking to you next week.
Yeah, hope to talk to you soon.
Third place finisher here tonight, John Schwartz with the fuel strategy and all the math involved to get that top three. It worked out for him. Let's catch up with your second place finisher down on pit road here with the number 14 of GT Hawkins. And that final lap, you had 1 second. You shaved it down to 0.3. Just not quite enough. And I think if we had one more lap, you would have won this race.
I mean, I was close. I wish I could have stayed out another lap in the first stint, so I didn't have to save in the second stint. That was, definitely my downfall tonight. But I mean, it's hard to really complain when you finish second and get to race a whole race, no cautions, and race with a bunch of clean drivers, and have it go green that long and then come down to 1 second at the end. That's pretty cool.
And we had Rickard in chat motivating you the whole time. I think he put a little extra fuel in your car. He told you that you could hit that pedal a little bit harder. You needed 0.4 coming off of turn 4. It looked like maybe the 58 of Cofield pitted too soon. But nonetheless, you're able to make this strategy work. 12 laps led here tonight, and you started all the way back in 16th position. So you're the biggest mover of the race with 14 spots gained.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Monty. Yeah, I mean, props to Cofield there. I think he went 40 laps. That's awesome. So yeah, props to him. Good win. Good race for the league, and yeah, can't say enough about everybody here. They're awesome.
Hawkins, you're gonna be sitting pretty in points when we reset. This is the final race of the regular season. Do you have anybody you'd like to shout out and thank while we got you up here?
Yeah, thanks to Glory Pole, my teammates at Cornerstone, everybody at Bluegrass for putting this on, and thank you for broadcasting, and all my friends, family out there watching. Thanks.
Thanks for your time, and we look forward to seeing you possibly next week up here in the broadcast booth post-race.
Yeah, we'll see you. Thanks.
GT Hawkins, the second place finisher of the race here tonight. And now we're going to talk to a name that I'm very familiar with down here in Victory Lane. And he just moved on me. There he is. There's Jonathan Cofield. We're down here in the winner's circle, and you had the bubble. You were right on the edge. You ran out as you crossed the line. Jonathan Cofield, congratulations on that victory.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, I run out of fuel 20 feet before the start-finish line.
Yeah, it was, we knew you were on the bubble. We saw some of the other guys that had pitted the 6 car. We knew Barrett wasn't going to make it. It just wasn't, it wasn't going to be possible. He did really no savings. So it really came down to you and Hawkins who was going to make it. And I knew that you were really close, but you were able to clutch it just enough and maintain that gap. Man, how does it feel to just, pull your hair out for 40 laps and pray that you can do it?
Oh man, that was awesome race. I'm trying to get settled down, but yeah, these Bluegrass races is starting to turn into the fuel mileage kind of race, and I'm not a big fan of that. I want to put 4 tires and fuel on it and go compete, but I've never been much of a strategist. That whole last run, I clutched it. I had to save gallon and 1.8 gallons when I come out of pit road. So, uh,
I mean, that's a
out of,
stretch.
oh
That
yeah,
is a
yeah.
stretch.
We was having to shift both corners, so and everybody else was shifting down the back straightaway and the front straightaway, right at the start finish line, halfway down the stretch. So I'd come out of the turns and shifted into fifth a little early, try not to get it over 8,300 RPMs, and then I just had that relative kills me. I had that relative. I was looking at it and looking at it and looking at it, trying to manage what they were doing, and I think with when I crossed the white flag, I had 0.9, and I seen GT coming. I was like, "There ain't no way I'm gonna make this." But
he hit the clutch pedal 2 more times, and she held up.
Yeah, I put her. We come out of 4, and I had 0.2 left. I said, "I'm gonna cog her in 4th and see how far she'll go."
Held on to it, Jonathan. It's an amazing finish. We've seen you race here on V Speed and some other leagues, and you always have great performances. And I agree, you are a performer. You are a competitive guy, and to see the strategy that you pulled off to get this win, that makes it even more enjoyable, in my opinion. This solid green flag race all the way through. It's the end of the regular season here, Jonathan, and you're sitting pretty in points. What do you got to say? Anybody you'd like to shout out and thank for tonight's win?
Oh yeah, Bradley. I want to thank you and V Speed for y'all coming on, put on a hell of a broadcast. Everybody's giving y'all compliments left and right. Jason and all he does in Bluegrass, all these drivers out here, no caution, just awesome racing. Cofield Asphalt Refinishing, Cofield Supply and Service, all of our sponsors for this league, whether it be trucks, Xfinity Cup, we're all in this together. I want to take Jonah Colbert, boss man over at JC Motorsports, and all this great group of guys I got running with me week after week.
We appreciate your time, Jonathan. Hopefully we get to talk to you again, and V-Speed will be bringing the remainder of this season as we go into chase time. We look forward to it, and maybe we'll see you up here in the broadcast booth again.
Awesome, brother. Appreciate it.
There's your race winner, Jonathan Cofield, with the strategy, and it played right into his hands, right on the edge for that last lap. Congratulations to the top 3 and really the top 5 pulling that strategy, knowing what they had to do to get this win here tonight. But it was never easy. It was never handed to them. And as we go through your post-race, let's get that final finishing order up on your screen here. So Cofield, Hawkins, and Schwartz all on that same strategy. Hooby able to pull off a top 5 with Brandon Holder in 5th. Sean Kaiser, in the 6th position. Michael Kostick in 7th. Radburn Shutters in 8th. James Silvers 9th. And unfortunately, the dominant driver of tonight, starting up front on the pole and leading a lot of laps, comes home in 10th. That's Jonathan Atkins. Daniel Cunningham's going to bring it home in 11th with Barrett Morton in 12th. Another guy that had the lead there in the last 10 laps, had to come down pit road. David Farmer, another driver that was up front most of this race, in 13th. Drew Prail in 14th. 15th will go to Jason Bridges. Michael Robinson in 16th. Alex Healy in 17th. Jeff Foyt in 18th. Cody Anderson 19th, and rounding out your 20-car field here tonight for the awesome fuel strategy race at Nashville is Michael Cole in the 67 20th. We hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast here live on V-Speed. It was a good one. I enjoyed every second of it. Bluegrass Cup Series, their final race here this evening of the regular season. The Steering Buddy 180 has concluded. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Go check out V-Speed if you haven't yet. V-Speed 2, Eddie Smith, an excellent producer, doing the Monday night broadcasting on Bluegrass TV as well. But for everybody at V-Speed, myself, Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, and everyone in between, have a great week. Take care, everybody.
here comes Milo. Big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag race.
The Magic Man wins it Auto Club.
If you're a professional race car driver or crew chief, then you know how important it is to ensure the safety of your team while unloading and maneuvering your car around the track. That's where Steering Buddy comes in. Steering Buddy from Hostile Industries is the go-to solution for making unloading your car a breeze. It essentially eliminates the need for a crew member to be in a vulnerable position in the liftgate, resulting in a safer environment for everyone. Not only that, but Steering Buddy allows you to maneuver your car from the outside around sharp turns, reducing the time and attempts required to get it in position. And setting it up couldn't be easier. Simply install the clamp onto the steering column and you're good to go. Plus, with its own battery, you won't have to draw power from your car, and it eliminates the lateral force that crew members often apply to the steering column when maneuvering the car from the outside. So, if you want to ensure the safety of your crew, make unloading your car a breeze, and reduce time and effort, Steering Buddy is the product for you. Get yours now at steeringbuddy.com.